My name's Damon Fryer and welcome to this episode of Daily Driven Exotics. We're in my 2008 personal Ferrari 430 Scuderia. There's 5 things I hate about this car and I'm gonna share them with you. Now on this episode, we're going to be talking about my very own personal 2008 Ferrari Scuderia, a very successful, reliable, daily drivable supercar. When they made this car, it had a lot of very neat new pieces to it to make it what it is. Obviously, it's a lightweight version. There's tons of carbon fiber. There's no rugs on the floor, but that's not what we're here to talk about today. There are plenty of reviews on the 430 Scuderia. However, not everyone tells you about all the downsides to owning a Scuderia, and there are 5 things I downright hate about this car. So today, I'm gonna share them with you. To start today's video, we're gonna go to the heart of the beast. So number 1 on my list today is the carbon fiber in the engine bay. Ferrari put a ton of carbon in here, which you would think is an absolutely awesome thing to do. However, they knew they were going to be putting it close to an engine, and the engine produces lots of heat. That heat has gone and completely ruined the carbon fiber as far as its looks. It's gone this milky kind of gray color, and it's just discolored all the way through. This isn't just like 1 or 2 places. The entire carbon in the engine bay is discolored. It completely ruins the beautiful look of the carbon, and every time I show the engine off to someone, someone's always got something to comment about how ugly this is. All right, so that brings us to number 2 on my list of things I dislike about this car. It happens to be right here in front of you when you're driving the vehicle. The steering rack on the 430s in general, including the Scuderia, which I do not know why Ferrari, you didn't fix this. You know this is a problem. The steering rack has a 3-piece linkage, and where they connect, they start to bend and distort. What happens is you tend to get this massive play in the steering wheel, such as this, and when you're driving down the road, you can turn the wheel several degrees before the car does anything, doesn't respond, you get no road feel. It's an awful feeling when you're driving such an amazing piece of machinery that's meant to be track focused and sharp, which it is not when that starts to happen. Now, if you don't drive your car very often and using it as a collector showroom piece in your garage, you probably haven't had this issue. But a lot of F430s and 430 Scuderias go through this if they get driven. I've gone through 2 steering racks in just under 3 years at the cost of $12,000 per repair. To continue on while we're inside the cockpit of the Ferrari Scuderia is this single deck here that this one happens to be aftermarket. However, it doesn't really improve the stereo at all because it's still only powering the crappy 2 speakers that are right here between the seats. Now, listen, I get that this is a more track-focused, lightweight supercar, but Ferrari, if you're gonna put a stereo in it at all, at least put something decent in. Even in 2008, there were better stereos than this and better speaker setups. If you're gonna put this in at all, you should have done a better job with it because this stuff isn't even worth turning on. 99% of the time, you're not gonna have this on unless you're just been driving for hours and hours and hours and you're completely sick of being droned out by the sound of the exhaust, so you just have to listen to something else. In fact, when I've been on long-term rallies driving 8 to 12 hours a day, I've gone as far as putting in headsets and listening to music off of my iPhone than rather turning this awful stereo on. Number 3 on my list of things I hate in the Scuderia, it's just a waste of space. Ferrari has one of the most recognizable sounds when it comes to exhaust notes in supercars. It is music to the ears, as most people would describe it. The 430 Scuderia is no different. However, you need to be way up in the RPM range before it sings. We're talking 6,000 plus RPMs. In the meantime, there's a major issue with this car. The exhaust manifold is known for cracking and leaking, and then you start to get that awful sound of tick, 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 tick. And it's just relentless. I've had the exhaust manifold fixed on this car twice. It's a known issue again with 430s in general. Ferrari, why don't you just call a recall and get something better made for these vehicles? It's downright embarrassing. Or anywhere where you come out to get back in your car after it's cooled down, and it's just, that's all you can hear. People stand around waiting for me to turn the car on, and I'm embarrassed to. Why? Because they're not gonna get that beautiful high-pitched Ferrari sound they expect. Instead, they're gonna get what sounds like a lawnmower. It's an expensive Ferrari lawnmower. Next on my list of complaints, believe it or not, which is a common one for a lot of supercars, are the seats. Carbon fiber, very cool to look at, amazing for being lightweight. However, the shape of these seats and how they are designed, basically right here is going to cut into the average person's back, unless you are a tiny, tiny gentleman. I mean, my friend and business partner Oliver drives this car a lot of the time. Why? Just simply because I don't enjoy driving it for long periods of time. The seats start to really hurt my back, and he's about 70 pounds lighter than me, and he fits the seat like a glove. But if you weren't 145 pounds, which he's in extremely good shape due to the fact that he's a professional motorcycle racer, anything bigger, and these seats are gonna absolutely crush you at anything over about an hour and a half to 2 hour drive. You're likely gonna need to go see a chiropractor and a massage therapist just to fix yourself after spending a bit of time in this vehicle. And that just sucks. I get that you can make lightweight performance seats with better comfort, because my 458, I stuck a GT3 spec 458 seat into that car, which is a full carbon bucket seat. In fact, it has no movement forward or back. It just simply slid forward on some rails, and it was about 100 times more comfortable than this seat is. Ferrari, we know you can do better. Please fix the seats in your lightweight supercars. Thank you very much. Well, that's gonna be a wrap on bashing the Ferrari 430 Scuderia today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it was helpful to anybody who was thinking about buying a 430 Scuderia. By the way, even though it's got a few things that suck about it, it's got a lot more that's amazing about this car. And I will be doing a video on 5 things that I love about this car to point out some of the highlights. So stick around, throw me a thumbs up, smash that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys very, very soon. Peace.